Your brain is killing you. Slowly, silently, from the moment you wake up every morning. And the most terrifying part is this: you are allowing it. Every day, every hour, every second. Even as you look at this screen right now, a comparison machine is running deep within your mind. Your neighbor's car, your friend's promotion news, that perfect body you see on social media, that flawless family photo. And each time, a small piece of you dies. A piece is torn away from yourself. Before we go any further, kindly subscribe to the channel and leave a comment expressing your feelings while viewing this video. Your experiences strengthen this community. But what if I told you that this is not just your problem? What if I told you that your brain is running on a 200,000-year-old evolutionary software, and this software is completely unsuitable for the 21st century? Your brain was designed to keep you alive, but not to make you happy. And right now, this antique system is tearing you apart. 7:32 a.m. The alarm goes off. You reach for your phone before your eyes are even fully open. And it begins. The first scroll. Instagram. Jennifer's morning yoga photo. Perfect flexibility, perfect body, perfect lighting. And you? You are still in bed. Your hair is a mess, a terrible taste in your mouth, and now a sense of guilt has been added to your morning coffee. Maybe I should do yoga too, you think. But you won't. You know it. And Jennifer knows it. Everyone knows it. One more scroll. A few pictures of Michael's new home. 10-foot ceilings, marble countertops, and a large kitchen. You examine your house. The ceiling still has that water stain on it. It's been 3 months since you decided to paint it. It's easy to think. One more scroll. Sarah's engagement photos. The diamond is big, the smile is bigger. You? Your last relationship ended 8 months ago. He told you, it's not you, it's me. But you knew. It was you. It was always you. It's only 7:37 a.m. and you have already lost. Your day hasn't even started and you've already been defeated. In the race of your life, you are behind before you even got to the starting line. Does this sound familiar? Share in the comments, what is the first thing you feel when you open your phone in the morning? Now I'm going to tell you something. But be ready, because this is going to hurt. You are a zombie. No, I'm not exaggerating. Neurologically, your brain is operating in a zombie mode. Every time you make a comparison, every time you look at someone else's life, the reward center of your brain, the medial prefrontal cortex, lights up. It pumps out dopamine. But this is not a good thing. Because this dopamine is not happiness dopamine. It's survival dopamine. Watch out. Danger. You're falling behind the herd, your brain is shouting. And 200,000 years ago, on the African savannas, falling behind the herd meant death. Lions catch the solitary prey. But now it's 2025. There are no lions. But your brain doesn't know that. It's still living 50,000 years ago. And it perceives Jennifer's yoga photo as a threat. Michael's house as an attack. Sarah's engagement ring as a death sentence. And you? You switch into defense mode. Fight or flight. But who are you going to fight? Jennifer? Michael? Yourself? The true tragedy starts at this point. Now let's go back. Really back. To 1954. There was a psychologist named Leon Festinger. A brilliant man. And he developed a theory, social comparison theory. According to Festinger, humans naturally compare themselves to others. Why? Because there is no objective reality. There is only relative reality. You ask, am I a good parent? But there is no answer to that question. There is only an answer to the question, am I a better parent than my neighbor? Am I successful? No. There is only, am I more successful than my sibling? Festinger defined two types of comparison, upward comparison and downward comparison. Upward comparison, looking at those who are better than you. Jennifer, Michael, Sarah. This gives you motivation, right? I can be like them too. No. It doesn't. It just gives you a feeling of inadequacy. Because your brain doesn't see the progress, it only sees the deficit. Downward comparison, looking at those who are worse than you. This makes you feel good, right? At least I'm not as bad as him. Yes, for 5 minutes. Then the guilt comes. Because taking pleasure in someone else's suffering is gnawing at you from the inside. Festinger wrote this in 1954. 71 years ago. Television was just becoming widespread. There was no internet. There was no social media. Back then, you were only compared to your neighbors. Maybe your colleagues. Maybe distant cousins. They're comparing you to 8 billion people now. Each day. Each hour. This is too much for your brain to process. It wasn't intended for that. It's noon. You're at work. You're in the cafeteria. You're eating a salad because you have to eat healthy. David, sitting at the opposite table, is eating a burger. He's enjoying it. You look at your salad and you hate it. You hate yourself. You hate the salad. You hate your choices. But then you look at David again. He's gained weight. You notice it. And a small, nasty voice inside you says, "At least I'm not like him." Then you are disgusted with yourself for having that thought. But you had it. And you can't unthink it. The cycle is this. This cycle, damn it. Feel down, look up. Feel high, look down, and then feel bad. You never succeed. Thomas Gilovich from Cornell University conducted a study in 1997. He asked people, "What are your biggest regrets in life?" Guess what he found? People regretted the things they didn't do, not the things they did. But here's the really interesting part. Why didn't they do them? Because they were afraid of what others would think. Because they thought they weren't good enough. Because someone else had already done it, and done it better. You are doing this too. Even right now. You're not writing that book because there are already too many writers. You're not applying for that job because others are more qualified. You're not telling that person you love them because I'm not good enough. You're not dying by comparison. It's preventing you from being alive. Which is worst? 9:15 p.m. You're in bed. Phone in hand. Just one last check, you say. But you know. It won't be the last. It never is. Facebook. You see a post from your old high school friend, Emma. She's on vacation in Paris. In front of the Eiffel Tower, with her boyfriend. Living our best life. You've never been to Paris. Maybe you never will be. The economy is bad. Things are tough. And Emma was even shyer than you in high school. Now look at her. In Paris. In love. Happy. What are you doing? You are viewing someone else's life on an old bedsheet in a dark room. A psychologist from Stanford University, Brian Knutson, conducted fMRI scans. He showed people social media and scanned their brains. What he found was shocking. Every time you make a comparison, the pain center of your brain, the anterior cingulate cortex, becomes active. The same region that is active when you feel physical pain. In other words, social comparison is physical pain for you. Your brain doesn't know the difference. Seeing Emma's photo in Paris triggers the same neural pathways as someone punching you. Additionally, you are willingly putting yourself through this. Each day. For hours. Why? There was another psychologist in the 1950s, Abraham Maslow. Perhaps you know his hierarchy of needs. The pyramid. At the bottom are physiological needs, food, water, sleep. Then safety. Then belonging. Then esteem. At the very top is self-actualization. But what Maslow didn't tell us is this pyramid is not static. It's flexible. And in the modern world, the pyramid has collapsed. Most of us no longer have problems with food, water, or shelter. But belonging? Esteem? We fight for these. Every day. Every moment. And how do we measure if we belong? Through comparison. How many friends do we have? Less than Jennifer? More than Michael? How many likes did we get? Sarah's engagement photo got 847 likes. Our last post? 34. 34 likes. 34 people think you are important enough. 813 people are missing. 813 people don't value you. And this seems like a life or death situation to your thinking. Let me take you back 15,000 years. The Ice Age is ending. The first settlements are being established. You live in a tribe of 30 people. And these 30 people are your everything. They feed you, protect you, teach you. Without them, you would die. Literally. Now imagine this, you make a mistake. You fail at the hunt. Or you say something wrong. The tribe leader gets angry. They exclude you. 1 day, 2 days, a week. What do you feel? Panic. Because exclusion means death. You can't survive alone. There are bears, there are wolves, there is winter. This is why your brain evolved. To read social signals. Who likes you? Who doesn't like you? Where is your place in the tribe? At the top? In the middle? At the bottom? The important thing to remember is that there is always someone above you. Always. Due to the hierarchy. Alpha, beta, and omega. Natural selection. Strong people live. But 15,000 years ago, you were only comparing yourself to 30 people. Now, it's billions. And your brain is not aware of this. It's still set to the 30-person tribe settings. And now, you are getting lost among 8 billion people. There is a region in your brain, the amygdala. It's almond-shaped, tiny, but immensely powerful. It's responsible for fear, for threat perception, for survival. Every time you make a comparison, your amygdala activates. Danger. Danger. You're falling behind. And your body reacts to this. Cortisol is released. The stress hormone. Your heart rate increases. Your blood pressure rises. Your muscles tense up. You are preparing as if there is a threat. But what is the threat? Jennifer's yoga? Michael's house? Sarah's ring? No. Your mind is the threat. However, your body is unaware of it. Ethan Cross from the University of Pennsylvania conducted a study in 2013. He tracked 82 participants for 2 weeks. The more they used social media, the unhappier they became. But not just unhappy, their self-esteem decreased, their life satisfaction dropped, and symptoms of depression and anxiety increased. Why? Because social media is a constant comparison machine. And every comparison creates a small wound. Harmless alone. But thousands of them? Thousands a day? You stop from bleeding. Do you feel this too? How do you feel after closing social media? Share in the comments. Now here's the strange part, you know that most of this is fake. You know that Jennifer's yoga pose is the result of 47 takes. You know Michael's house is mortgaged, and you don't know what Sarah's relationship is really like. Social media is a highlight reel. The best moments. The most flattering angles. The most perfect filters. It's not real. No one shares a photo while crying in the bathroom. No one live streams a marital argument. No one posts, "I hate myself today." You are aware of this. You know it logically and reasonably. But you still compare. Why? Because the rational part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, is evolutionarily new. It's 200,000 years old. The amygdala? 300 million years old. Older than dinosaurs. And in your brain, the old parts always win. Logic versus instinct. Instinct wins. Every single time. Daniel Kahneman, the Nobel laureate economist, called this System 1 and System 2. System 1, fast, automatic, emotional. System 2, slow, deliberate, rational. When you see Jennifer's photo, System 1 instantly reacts, she's better than you. Danger. System 2 then kicks in, calm down, it's just a photo, it might be fake. But it's too late. The cortisol has already been released. The wound has already been opened. And here is the real problem, it's a habit. A neural pathway. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. Every comparison carves that path deeper into your brain. Eventually, comparison becomes automatic. You do it without thinking. Like breathing. And one day you wake up, and you realize, you don't even know who you are anymore. Because you have always defined yourself through others. You're not as flexible as Jennifer. You're not as rich as Michael. You're not as loved as Sarah. Tell me, then, who you are. What remains after eliminating all of these comparisons? A researcher from the University of Michigan, Ethan Kross, yes, the same man, found something else, self-distancing. When you make a comparison, you are actually detaching yourself from yourself. You are watching your own life from the outside. Like a movie. And you are both the character and the ruthless critic. This scene was terrible. This dialogue is cliché. This character is underdeveloped. 2 stars, do not recommend. But this is your life. Not a movie. There are no retakes. And here is the real tragedy, this dissociation becomes your reality. You are no longer living the moment. You are evaluating the moment. Will this look good on Instagram? How will I tell others about this? Is this impressive enough? You go on a vacation. But you don't experience the vacation. You document the vacation. You take 47 photos of the sunset. But you are not looking at the sunset. You are looking at the phone screen. And when you return home, you don't remember the sunset. You only remember the photos. And how many likes the photos got. Your memories are no longer your memories. They are evidence submitted for the approval of others. Yes, I lived. Here is the proof. 127 people liked it. So it's real, right? Let me take you to another place. 1978, Jim Jones and Jonestown. 909 people drank poison punch and died. At the command of a cult leader. Why did they do it? There are various theories. But one of them, social proof. Everyone was doing it. Your neighbor was doing it. Your friend was doing it. If everyone is doing it, it must be right, mustn't it? Now, I am not equating comparison to Jonestown. But the mechanism is the same, social conformity. The herd mentality. If everyone is living that way, I must live that way too. Everyone is fit. Everyone is successful. Everyone is happy. So why am I not? What is wrong with me? But the truth is, not everyone is fit. Not everyone is successful. Not everyone is happy. Everyone is just pretending to be. Because everyone is comparing. And everyone is losing. But no one admits it. This is called pluralistic ignorance. Everyone feels the same way, but everyone thinks they are alone. Everyone feels inadequate, but everyone thinks everyone else is doing well. It's ironic, isn't it? We are all suffering the same pain. But we all feel alone. Because no one is talking. No one is saying, I'm scared too, I feel inadequate too, I don't know either. Why? Because that's a weakness. And weakness, in the modern world, is death. Exclusion. Failure. Or is it? We've made it this far. We are at the midpoint. And you are probably tired. Because this is heavy. I know. Seeing yourself in the mirror, especially if there's something you don't like in that mirror, is painful. But now I'm going to give you the good news: you are not broken. You are not defective. You are not normal. Because normal is a myth. Everyone is messy. Everyone is struggling. Everyone is scared. The distinction is that some individuals are okay with this. Others don't. Now I will show you how some people change this. But first, you must understand one thing: this will not be easy. There is no quick fix. There is no miracle. There is only work. Hard, uncomfortable, painful work. Are you ready? The first step, the awareness. But real awareness. Not just saying, "Oh, I'm comparing." It's saying, "Oh, right now, at this very second, my amygdala is activating, cortisol is being released, and I am perceiving a threat that is not real." Meditation is not what this is. Neurological consciousness is this. Psychologist Susan David calls this emotional agility. Feeling the emotion but not being driven by the emotion. Saying "I am feeling jealousy" is different from saying "I am a jealous person." One is a temporary state. The other is an identity. Next time you see Jennifer's yoga photo, stop. 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. And ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling it? Is this real or is it a reaction? A strange thing will happen: the moment you ask the question, it will lose half its power. Because it's no longer automatic. It is now conscious. And conscious choices are always more powerful. But be careful, this is not a battle. Forcing yourself to stop comparing won't work. Because forcing creates resistance. And resistance strengthens it. Instead, be curious. Interesting. I feel inadequate right now. Why? What triggered it? Am I really inadequate or am I just tired? Am I hungry? Am I stressed? Usually, comparison is not the trigger. It's the symptom. The real problem is somewhere else: fatigue, stress, dissatisfaction, insecurity. Jennifer's yoga is not your problem. Your dissatisfaction with your own life is your problem. The second step, curation. No, you are not curating your life. You are curating your inputs. What are you exposing yourself to? Who are you following? What are you reading? What are you watching? If you spend 3 hours a day on social media and then feel bad about yourself, it's not a mystery. The solution is obvious. However, nobody does it. Why? Due to addiction. Literally. Addiction to dopamine. Every scroll, a small burst of dopamine. Every new post, a reward. Your brain learns this. Scroll, get a reward. Scroll, get a reward. Like Pavlov's dogs. But you are the dog, and the bell is the social media notification. Cal Newport, a computer science professor, wrote Digital Minimalism. His claim is simple: social media is using you. You are not using social media. You are not the product. You are the product. Your attention is being sold. And in return? Anxiety, depression, inadequacy. Newport says you don't have to quit social media entirely. But use it intentionally. Decide, I will only use Instagram for 30 minutes on Friday evenings, once a week. And stick to the rules. The first week will be hell. Withdrawal symptoms. Fear of missing out, FOMO. What is everyone doing? What am I missing? But in the second week, you will notice you are actually not missing anything. In the third week, you feel better. Lighter. More peaceful. In the fourth week, Why did I spend so much time on that? But here is the trick, just reducing is not enough. You must fill the void. Because we hate voids. Voids force us to think. And thinking is painful. So you must fill the void. But this time, with things you choose. Read a book. Go for a walk. Create something. Talk to a friend, a real conversation, not a text. It will feel strange at first. Because it's slow. Social media is fast. Constant stimulation. But real life is slow. And your brain needs to get used to the slow pace again. The third step, shifting perspective. This is the hardest one. Because it requires changing your worldview. Right now, you are probably thinking in terms of a zero-sum game. If Jennifer wins, I lose. If Michael is successful, I am a failure. If Sarah is happy, I am unhappy. But this is nonsense. It's not mathematics. It's emotional logic. And emotional logic is not logic. Jennifer's yoga doesn't reduce your flexibility. Michael's house doesn't shrink yours. Sarah's relationship doesn't create your loneliness. These are separate occurrences. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. But I feel it, you say. I know. Because your brain is looking for connections. It's looking for meaning. And it creates its own meaning. Carol Dweck, a Stanford psychologist, coined the concepts of growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Fixed mindset, ability is fixed. You are either good or you're not. If someone else is better than you, you can never be as good as them. Growth mindset, ability can be developed. Everyone is on a journey. Someone else's success is not my failure. I can learn from them. Simple, right? But difficult to implement. Because the fixed mindset is the default setting. Evolutionarily logical, he is stronger. I am weaker? I must run away. Clear. Concise. But in the modern world, this doesn't work. Because everyone is better at something. Always. Jennifer is better than you at yoga. But maybe you are better than her at cooking. Michael's house is big. But maybe you are a better friend. Sarah is engaged. But maybe you are freer. Here's the perspective shift, everyone is playing a different game. You are not playing the same game. Not by the same rules. Not with the same goal. If you are playing Jennifer's game, of course you will lose. Because she's been playing this game for years. By those rules. But why are you playing her game? What is your game? Let me tell you a story. A true story. In 2019, there was a woman. Let's call her Lisa. Lisa was 34 years old. She had a good job, marketing manager. She had a good house, downtown. She had a good life, on paper. But she cried every night. Why? Because her college friend Rachel had become a CEO. Another friend, Emily, had given a TED talk. Someone else had written a book. Someone else had made the Forbes 30 under 30 list. And Lisa? Lisa was a marketing manager. Just a marketing manager. One day, Lisa made up her mind. She went to therapy. And her therapist asked her one question, Lisa, what do you want? Not what Rachel wants. Not what Emily wants. You. What do you want? Lisa couldn't answer. Because she didn't know. She had never thought about it. She had always thought she wanted what others wanted. Therapy lasted 6 months. And Lisa slowly discovered she didn't want to be a CEO. Because she hated managing. She didn't want to give a TED talk. Because she had stage fright. She didn't want to write a book. Because she didn't like writing. What did Lisa want? A garden. A small garden. To grow tomatoes. Peppers. Lettuce. And to sell them at the market on weekends. But that's small, she had said. Insignificant. According to whom, the therapist had asked. Lisa quit her job. Moved to a smaller house. With a garden. And now, in 2025, Lisa runs a small organic vegetable business. Not much money. No prestige at all. No Forbes list. But Lisa doesn't cry every night. For the first time in 15 years. What is your game? Really? Think in the comments. The fourth step, facing reality. This is going to hurt. But it's necessary. The reality is, life is not fair. Some people are luckier. Better looking. Smarter. From wealthier families. Better opportunities. Easier paths. This is true. And to deny it is foolish. But here is the other reality, this is not your problem. Jennifer's genetics are not your problem. Michael's inheritance is not your problem. Sarah's luck is not your problem. Your problem is what you will do with your life. With your cards. With your difficulties. With your opportunities. This is not Pollyanna optimism. This is Stoicism. Ancient philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, wrote 2,000 years ago, accept the things you cannot change. Focus on the things you can change. You cannot change Jennifer's body. But you can change your own. You cannot take Michael's money. But you can fix your own finances. You cannot steal Sarah's relationship. But you can improve your own relationship. And here's the truly uncomfortable part, often, comparison is a way to avoid change. Because change is hard. Scary. Uncertain. Why aren't you going to the gym? Because I won't be as flexible as Jennifer. The truth is, you don't want to go. And that's okay. But you are using Jennifer as an excuse. To hide your own fear. Why didn't you apply for that job? Because I won't be as successful as Michael. The truth is, you are afraid of rejection. And that's okay. But you are using Michael as a shield. Do you see? Comparison doesn't just cause pain. It also causes paralysis. It leaves you immobile. Because why bother? You can't win anyway. Jennifer is always better. Michael is always richer. Sarah is always happier. But that is not true. And deep down, you know it. Developing your own metric is the fifth step. It's revolutionary. Society gives you metrics, money, beauty, success, status, marriage, children, house, car. And you measure yourself according to these metrics. And you lose. Because these metrics are not your metrics. They are someone else's. Philosopher Nietzsche said, mankind falls into two categories. The herd and the individual. The herd follows the values of others. The individual creates their own values. Which one are you? But we live in society, you say. I need the approval of others. To a certain extent, yes. But how much? And whose approval? Everyone's? All 8 billion? Impossible. Instead, define your own metric. What does success mean to you? Money? Or going to bed in peace in the evening? What does beauty mean to you? In the minds of others? Or loving what you see in the mirror? What does happiness mean to you? Constant excitement? Or deep, quiet contentment? These questions are not easy. And the answers may change. But you have to ask them. Because if you are living by someone else's metric, you will never win. Because you didn't write that game. The sixth step, community. But real community. People compare to belong. If I am like them, they will accept me. But this works in reverse. Because you become fake. And fake people cannot form real connections. Brené Brown, researcher and author, studied a connection for 20 years. What she found: vulnerability is the foundation of connection. When you take off your masks, real connection becomes possible. But when you have your masks on, only the masks connect. You do not connect. Go to a friend, a real friend, and say, "I am struggling. I feel inadequate. I feel like I'm jealous of everyone." Terrifying, right? Weak. Shameful. But you know what will happen? One of two things: either they will distance themselves, in which case, they weren't a real friend anyway. Or they will say, "Me too. God, me too." You will realize that you are not alone at that precise moment. Community is the antidote to comparison. But only real community. Not Instagram followers. Real people. Real conversations. Real vulnerability. The seventh step: contribution. This is magic. Comparison draws you inward. Me. My problem, my pain, my failure. But you know what's strange? When you help others, the comparison stops. Because the focus shifts. It's no longer "am I adequate?" It becomes, "how can I help?" Neuroscience supports this. The helper's high. When you help someone else, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It releases serotonin, the happiness hormone. And most interestingly, the comparison region, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, is shut down. In other words, contribution is the direct antidote to comparison. Find a volunteer activity. Something small. 1 hour a week. A charity. A local school. An elderly neighbor. An animal shelter. Initially, you will probably think, "But I have my own problems. How can I help others?" Here's the trick: the way to get rid of your own problems is to focus on the problems of others. It's a paradox. But it works. The eighth step: create. Not consume. Social media is consumption. Passive. You watch the lives of others, the successes of others, the happiness of others. But creation? Active. Your life. Your success. Your expression. What do you create? It doesn't matter. A meal. A drawing. A poem. A garden. A piece of furniture. A piece of music. What matters is, you are doing it. Not someone else. And the result is not comparable. Because it's unique. It's yours. Michael's house is not like your painting. You cannot compare them. Jennifer's yoga is not like your meal. You cannot compare them. Creation makes comparison impossible. Because it changes the category. And here is the beautiful part: when you create, you enter a state of flow. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a psychologist, defined it: total focus. Forgetting time. Forgetting yourself. In the state of flow, comparison is impossible. Because comparison requires self-awareness. Me versus them. But in flow, there is no me. There is only the activity. This is why artists, musicians, writers, and athletes create. Not just for money. Not for respect. For flow. For the pause in comparison. You can do it too. The ninth step: forgiveness. But of yourself. This is the hardest one. Because you are too hard on yourself. For years you compared. For years you diminished yourself. For years you put others up and yourself down. And now you are angry at yourself. Why was I so stupid? Why did I waste so much time? But being angry at yourself is also a comparison. The current me versus the me I should be. Let it go. You did it. It happened. It's over. You cannot change the past. But you can influence the future. Self-compassion. Kristen Neff, a researcher, defines this as 3 elements. Self-kindness, be gentle with yourself. Treat yourself as you would treat a friend. Common humanity, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone struggles. You are not alone. Mindfulness, acknowledge feelings but don't over-identify with them. I am sad, but not I am sadness. And exercise, look in the mirror. Tell yourself, you did the best you could. With the knowledge you had at the time, the resources you had at the time, the situation at the time. And that was enough. You were enough. You are still enough. It will feel strange. It will feel fake. But repeat it. Every day. For a week. For a month. One day, you will believe it. The 10th and final step, time. Patience. Comparison is a habit. And habits don't change overnight. Studies say, a new habit takes an average of 66 days. But that's an average. For some, it's 18 days. For others, it's 254 days. Which one are you? You don't know. Yet. But what you do know is, it won't happen immediately. You won't wake up tomorrow and suddenly stop comparing. 1 step forward, then 2 steps forward, then 3 steps forward. Then 2 steps back. This is normal. This is the process. Some days, you will see Jennifer's photo and feel nothing. Victory! The next day, you will see Michael's post and the old pain will return. Disappointment. Nothing has changed. But it has changed. It's just not linear. It's a spiral. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But the trend is upward. And one day, maybe 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, you will realize you don't care that much anymore. Jennifer's yoga is just a photo. Michael's house is just a building. Sarah's ring is just a piece of jewelry. And you? You are living your own life. Quietly. Privately. Without comparison. And that, my friend, is freedom. Now let me bring you back to 2025. You are in the present moment. You are in front of this screen. And 60 minutes have passed. Maybe you got bored. Maybe you got angry. Maybe you got sad. Maybe you got hopeful. All of that is okay. But now, I'm going to ask you a question. And I want you to really think about this question. If comparison disappeared, who would you be? If Jennifer, Michael, Sarah, and 8 billion other people disappeared? If only you remained? Who would you be? What would you do? What would you want? Where would you go? What would you create? This is not an easy question. Because right now, you don't know who you are. You only know who you are not. You are not Jennifer. You are not Michael. You are not Sarah. But who are you? Really? Let me tell you a secret. The real secret. Everything you've read in the past was preparation for this. When you stop comparing, you don't find yourself. You create yourself. This is important. Read it again. The find your true self nonsense. There is no true self. There is no fixed self. Identity is not static. It's fluid. You are a process. A journey. An evolution. Every day, with every choice, you are recreating yourself. You can choose to be like Jennifer. Or to be the complete opposite of Jennifer. Or to be something completely independent of Jennifer. The choice is yours. Always yours. But you cannot make a choice if you don't know who you are. And you cannot know who you are if you are constantly looking at others. So, turn around. Look inward. And ask, what do I want? Really? Final story. I promise. In 2003, there was a young man. A Harvard student. Smart. Talented. But unhappy. Why? Because everyone was starting businesses. Everyone was founding companies. Everyone was becoming a millionaire. And he? He was just a student. So he did it too. He founded a company. But a different kind of company. Because he founded it for a different reason. Not for money. Not for fame. Because he wanted to compare. Is my profile better than his? Did my photo get more likes? The name of that company? Facebook. That young man? Mark Zuckerberg. And here's the irony, the platform he built to facilitate his own comparisons turned the world into a comparison hell. Billions are now comparing every day. Every moment. And Zuckerberg? He's one of the richest people in the world. But is he happy? Who knows? But I know one thing, he is also comparing. With Elon Musk. With Jeff Bezos. With Bill Gates. Because the comparison never stops. No matter how high you climb, there is always someone higher up. An endless staircase. An endless race. An endless loss. Or you can get off the staircase. You can quit the race. You can accept losing. Because losing means winning. A paradox. But true. Now you are going to do an exercise. Immediately. Right now. Take your phone. Open your social media app. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you use. Find the 3 persons you are most envious of, then unfollow them. Or turn them off. But they're my friends. Are they really? When was the last time you spoke? A real conversation, not a message? But I want to know why I'm following them. Why? To torture yourself? But wouldn't it be rude? They won't even notice. And even if they do, your well-being is the priority. Do it. Immediately. Now. Pause this video and do it. Did you do it? How did you feel? Light? Guilty? Scared? All of that is normal. But take note, how will you feel tomorrow? After a week? After a month? This is a small step. But it is an important step. Because it is a step you chose. Now we are truly finishing. 60 minutes have passed. Maybe more. Maybe less. But I want you to know this video may end. But the work is not over. The work starts now. Tomorrow, you will see Jennifer's photo. And the old feeling will come. Inadequacy. Jealousy. Pain. But this time, you have a choice. You can pause. You can breathe. And you can choose. This is not a threat. This is just a photo. And I have a choice. I can believe this feeling. Or I can observe this feeling and let it pass. You will fail the first 10 times. Maybe 20. Maybe 50. But the 51st time, you will succeed. And the 52nd time it will be easier. And one day, you will see Jennifer's photo and you will genuinely, sincerely think, that's nice. She looks happy. What does that mean for me? Nothing. Because that's her path. And this is my path. And on that day, you will be free. Let me leave you with a metaphor. Life is not a marathon. Because in a marathon, everyone runs the same course. The same finish line. The same rules. Life is like an orchestra. Everyone is playing a different instrument. Violin, piano, drums, flute. You cannot compare the violin to the piano. The violin is not good enough because it doesn't sound like the piano. Absurd. But you do this. To yourself. Every day. You are a violin. Jennifer is a piano. Michael is drums. Sarah is a flute. And all of you are playing in the same symphony. But each one has a unique part. And the symphony only becomes beautiful when all of you play your own part. If the violin tries to sound like the piano, there is chaos, dissonance, discord. So, play your own instrument, your own part, your own rhythm, and listen, not just to yourself, to everyone, because the symphony is beautiful with all of us. Final assignment, go to the comments and write this: I play the instrument. You choose what instrument you are, real or metaphorical. It doesn't matter. What matters is you choose. And read the choices of others. See it. All these different instruments. All unique. All valuable. All necessary. When comparison ends, you will see that you are not alone. You are not in the herd. You are in the orchestra. And that changes everything. Now go. Truly go. Close this video. Put down your phone. Turn off your computer. And just exist. 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. No screens. No distractions. No comparisons. Just you. Breathe in and out. And ask yourself, right now, this second, who am I? The answer might not come immediately. Maybe it will never come. But the fact that you ask the question changes everything. Because comparison is an answer. A bad answer, but an answer. To the question, who am I? I am not Jennifer. Not Michael. Not Sarah. But that is not an identity. That is a negation. A negative definition. True identity is positive. I am this. I love this. I believe in this. I am going in this direction. And you can only find this in silence. Not in noise. Not in the crowd. Not in comparisons. In silence. Do not be afraid of the silence. I know, it's scary. Because in the silence, thoughts come. Pains come. Regrets come. But at the same time, wisdom comes. Clarity comes. Truth comes. Blaise Pascal, the 17th century philosopher, said, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. He wrote this in 1654. 371 years ago. There was no social media. No internet. But the problem was the same. Distraction. Escape. Comparison. Because being alone with ourselves is the hardest thing. It always has been. It always will be. But at the same time, it is the most valuable thing. Because there, in that silence, you find yourself. You create yourself. You forgive yourself. And you become free. One more story. I promised it was the last, but I must tell this one. There was a man. His name was Henry David Thoreau. In 1845, he made a decision to withdraw from society. To live in a small cabin by a lake in the woods. For 2 years. Why? Because he wanted to live deliberately. Without comparison. Without expectations. Just himself and nature. And there, in that cabin, he wrote a book, Walden. It has a very famous line, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Quiet desperation. He wrote that in 1854. 171 years ago. But isn't it even more true today? You too are living in quiet desperation. You are running in a race. A race you cannot win. But you don't stop. Because stopping means losing. But Thoreau found, stopping is not losing. Stopping is waking up. You too can stop. Now. This second. Stop participating in the race. Stop comparing. Stop struggling. And just live. But it's not practical, you say. I have bills. I have a job. I have responsibilities. I can't live in a cabin in the woods. You are right. Thoreau was privileged. He had money. He had the option. You might not. But that's not the idea. Not escaping to the woods. It's finding the inner woods. That place in your mind. The place where there is no comparison. The place where there is no judgment. The place where there is silence. You can reach that place. Right here. On the subway. In traffic. In the restroom. It's a place everywhere. Because it's within you. Now I am really, absolutely finishing. But one final message. You are enough. Now. Just as you are. Without change. Without improvement. Without achievement. You, by merely existing, are enough. But I must improve, you say. Yes. You can improve. But not because you are inadequate. But because growth is joyful. Do you see the difference? In one, I am broken, I must fix myself. In the other, I am whole, but I can grow more. In one, fear. In the other, curiosity. Jennifer does yoga because she loves yoga. You should do yoga because you want to love yoga. Not to be like Jennifer. Michael bought a house because he wanted a house. You should buy a house because you want a house. Not to be like Michael. Sarah got married because she fell in love. You should get married because you fell in love. Not to be like Sarah. Your own reasons. Your own choices. Your own life. And if you don't want to do yoga, don't do it. If you don't want to buy a house, don't buy it. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. Because you don't have to do it just because someone else is doing it. And there is freedom. Finally. A final exercise. The hardest one. Look in the mirror. Look closely. For 3 minutes. Just look. Don't do anything. Don't evaluate anything. Just see. You. The real you. First minute, you will see criticism. This is too big. This is too small. This is wrong. Second minute, you will see comparison. I am different from Jennifer. I am different from Michael. Third minute, something interesting will happen. The criticism will soften. The comparison will fade. And you will begin to see you. Just you. And maybe, just maybe, for one moment, you will feel that you are enough. Catch that moment. Remember it. Because that is the truth. The rest is noise. If this video touched you, do 3 things. Subscribe. Because this is just the beginning. More content is coming. Deeper. More real. Like it. The algorithm loves it. But more importantly, it will reach someone else. Perhaps someone who is currently in quiet desperation. Comment. Share. I play the instrument. Or something else. Your story. Your struggle. Your victory. Because sharing is healing. Both for you and for others. And if you are truly brave, share this video. With a friend. With someone you know is quietly comparing. Send a message, hey, I watched this. Maybe you'd like to watch it too. Because? I know. I do it too. That conversation can change everything. Life is short. Cliché, but true. An average of 80 years. 29,200 days. 700,800 hours. How many of those hours will you spend comparing? How many will you spend watching the lives of others? Another line from Thoreau, I did not wish, when I came to die, to discover that I had not lived. You don't want that either. I know it. So start now. Not today. Not tomorrow. Now. This second. Stop comparing. Not entirely. Not immediately. But a little. A little more every day. And one day you will wake up and realize you are no longer thinking about Jennifer. You are no longer thinking about Michael. You are no longer thinking about Sarah. You are thinking about yourself. But in a healthy way. In a curious way. In a loving way. And on that day, you will truly start living. Here's to that day. Here's to you. Here's to all of us. Because in the end, we all want the same thing, to be seen. To be heard. To be enough. And you already are. You always were. You had just forgotten. Now you remember. Welcome home. Thank you. For watching. For listening. For being here. Now go. And live. Truly live. See you in the next video. But for now, close your eyes. Take a breath. And remember. You are enough. Always enough. Which instrument do you play? Share in the comments. And don't forget, the symphony is only complete when you play your own part. Comparison never ends. But you can stop it. One choice. One breath. One moment. Now.